Whiskers and the Inkheart Dream. Once upon a time in the quiet village of Puddlebrook, there lived a small gray cat named Whiskers. She wasn't an ordinary cat. Her eyes sparkled with wonder, and her mind danced with stories. But life for Whiskers was anything but magical. After her parents disappeared on a journey overseas, she was left in the care of her Aunt Claudia and Uncle Gruff, two cold-hearted cats who treated her more like a servant than family. Every day, Whiskers swept the floors with her tail, scrubbed the windows until they shone, and prepared fish stew without even a taste for herself. Her cousins, Snitch and Snatch, lounged about, yawning dramatically and knocking things over for her to clean up again. But when the house was quiet and the moonlight slipped through the attic window, Whiskers would take out her secret journal and write. Her stories were filled with kingdoms in the clouds, time-traveling mice, and gardens that whispered poetry. She read books she had rescued from trash piles or borrowed from the village library, tucking them under her straw bed. One crisp autumn morning, a flurry of posters fluttered into town. The mayor, a sleek Siamese named Sir Posington, had announced the Great Puddlebrook Story Contest. The winner would receive a scholarship to study storytelling at the prestigious Quilford Academy, located in the distant city of Meosterdam. Whiskers' heart leapt. She had never dreamed of escaping Puddlebrook, but this was her chance. She stayed up for nights, writing her best story ever, The Tale of the Lantern Fox. It was a story about hope, friendship, and finding light in the darkest places. She slipped the pages into an envelope and dropped it in the village mailbox, her paws trembling with hope. Weeks passed. Then, one day, a golden envelope arrived. It was addressed to Whiskers of Puddlebrook Hollow. Aunt Claudia opened it first and turned pale. It was a letter from Sir Posington himself. Congratulations! Your story has been chosen as the winner of the Great Puddlebrook Story Contest. You have been awarded a scholarship to study at Quilford Academy. We await your reply within 3 days. Aunt Claudia crumpled the letter. She doesn't need education. Who'll clean the gutters if she leaves? She snarled to Uncle Gruff. They hid the letter under the floorboard of the pantry and told Whiskers nothing. But Whiskers noticed a change. Her aunt smirked more cruelly than usual. Her uncle watched her like a hawk. Something was wrong. That night, Whiskers snuck downstairs, her paws silent on the old wooden steps. She searched the kitchen until a creaky floorboard gave her a clue. There, beneath a dusty jar of pickled sardines, was the letter. She read it under the glow of a lantern. Her heart pounded. 2 days. She had 2 days. With the help of a clever squirrel named Nibs, her friend from the garden, Whiskers hatched a plan. While Aunt Claudia and Uncle Gruff slept, Nibs helped her pack her things, including her journal, a scarf her mother once gave her, and a small lunch. They made their way to the mayor's office just in time. Sir Posington, upon seeing her, gave a warm smile. Ah, the young storyteller herself. I was beginning to wonder why you hadn't replied. Whiskers told him everything. The mayor's tail bristled with righteous fury. That very afternoon, Aunt Claudia and Uncle Gruff were summoned and scolded publicly for their cruelty. The townsfolk, many of whom had read Whiskers' story printed in the village paper, cheered her on. A week later, Whiskers boarded a train bound for Meosterdam, her dreams packed safely beside her. And as the wheels clattered along the tracks, she opened her journal and began a new story, this time her own.